The summer sun was beating down on the cracked sidewalks of a small town, where history seemed to seep out of every brick and faded mural. It was a kind of neighborhood where everybody knew everybody, or so they thought. At the heart of this simmering tension was a quiet, old man named Henry Caldwell. To the casual observer, Henry was just another elderly white man, stooped, slow-moving, dressed in worn slacks and a faded button-up shirt. He carried himself with the faint dignity of someone who had seen much and said little. But Henry wasn't just any old man. He was a man whose past held secrets that could shake the very foundations of power. On that day, 2 black police officers, Marcus and Darnell, patrolled the streets with vigilant eye. Their neighborhood was their home, a place they swore to protect, but it was also a place shadowed by suspicion and unrest. Years of systemic injustice had left scars, and their uniforms were both a shield and a target. Marcus spotted Henry sitting alone on a park bench, feeding pigeons with trembling hands. Something about Henry's demeanor didn't sit right with him. Maybe it was the way he looked so out of place, or how he seemed oblivious to the world rushing past. "Hey, old man," Marcus called out, his tone sharp. "What are you doing here?" Henry looked up slowly, his eyes steady but tired. "Just feeding the birds." Darnell joined, folding his arms. "You know this park's been a hot spot lately. You got any ID on you?" The question felt like an accusation, and Henry's hands tightened around his bag. "I'm just a visitor," he said quietly. "I live nearby." The officers exchanged a glance. In their minds, suspicion became certainty. They asked Henry to stand, searched his bag roughly, and questioned him more aggressively. The tension mounted as Henry tried to explain, his voice steady but tinged with frustration. "You don't understand who I am," Henry finally said, his voice firm. "Try us," Marcus shot back. And that's when the truth came out. "I work for CIA," Henry said quietly. The air thickened. Marcus and Darnell froze, the weight of those words crashing down on them like a sudden storm. The old man they had just bullied was not a frail stranger, but a man who had dedicated his life to national service, often in the shadows where few dared to go. But the story didn't end there. The officers, overwhelmed and caught between their duty, their instincts, and the realization of their mistake, found themselves grappling with their own prejudices. They had judged a man based on skin, age, and circumstance, a reflection of the biases entrenched in all of them. Henry, despite everything, did not yell or curse. Instead, he spoke of his work in quiet terms, the sacrifices made, the unseen battles fought in the name of justice. But more importantly, he spoke about the true cause of division and how prejudice erodes the very fabric of community. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Marcus and Darnell left with more than just a lesson learned. They left with profound understanding that power, when wielded without empathy, can harm those it's meant to protect, and that sometimes, beneath every face lies a story untold, waiting to shatter assumptions and rebuild trust. This story is a mirror reflecting the complex layers of prejudice, power, and identity in modern society. It challenges us to question how quick we are to judge others based on appearances and the assumptions we carry. True justice comes not from suspicion, but from understanding, empathy, and recognizing humanity in every person, regardless of race, age, or background. If this story moved you, please like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful storytelling that sheds light on the complex realities of our world. Your support helps us bring untold stories to life, stories that challenge, inspire, and unite us all.